Hi, and welcome to today's webinar. Today we'll be talking about we're going through training 5 and making the money. So really some different money making strategies that you can implement in your Facebook fortune business. So thank you for all coming along this afternoon. It's really, really good that you could make it. So what we'll do is we'll just kick straight off into this because it's actually going to be quite a full-on session, and I've got quite a bit to get through in terms of some different types of money-making strategy. So first of all, let's just kick off with what we'll be covering today. So the overview of what we'll be covering today is really what you need in place before you can actually start making money in your Facebook business. And then a strategy making the money using ebooks, and then how to make money with membership sites or continuity programs or whatever it is that you would like to call them. But this is basically making the sale once and continuing to get paid every single month after that. And then with webinars, how you can actually make some money once you've put everything in place with running regular webinars on the internet. And then finally, making money selling merchandise. Excuse me. Oh dear, I had something go right down the wrong way. So let's get kickstarted. I've had some really, really great wins with merchandise of lately, and I'm really, really looking forward to sharing that with you. And then, of course, we'll have some questions at the end of this if you've got any questions. Sorry. So let's get going. So what is it that you're going to need in place to be able to start making some money using with your Facebook business? First of all, actually, the first thing we're going to need in place is obviously the right topic. And that was one of our very first things we started when we started doing our Facebook fortunes, is really working out what your niche is, how you can differentiate in that niche. Excuse me. What I might get you guys to do is just hold for a few seconds. I'm just going to pause this and grab a glass of water. Sorry. Really, really sorry about that. I just had some verbals then. Not sure what that was. Anyway, I think we're all right to carry on now. So really, yeah, the first thing we're looking at is, obviously niching it down. What's the topic? How can you differentiate from other people in your niche? The second thing you're going to need to be able to build your Facebook business and actually start making conversions is a Facebook page. So building up and optimizing that Facebook page so that it really appeals to who your niche is, which we find out in step 1. Step 3 is, of course, building up those fans and followers. So that is really implementing or putting together that like campaign. So we really need to build up these fans and followers for several reasons, and I have discussed this throughout the Facebook Fortunes program. But realistically, we want to build up these fans and followers so that we can really figure out who our target audience is. So once we get up and over 1,000 fans, there's so much more that we can see about those people to be able to target to them correctly. So once we have that information on our fans and followers, it's so much easier after that to do the marketing, because you know who they are, you know what age group they're in, you know what other pages they might like, and so on. So way easier to be able to talk directly to them. Seriously, niching down, and you'll find any business or any online business, in fact, any business that has a really tight niche tends to be able to make the most amount of money because they really and truly are able to market and speak the right language of the people that are going to buy their products and services. Okay, you can't please everyone, and you shouldn't try and be everything to everybody. So really niching that right down is extremely important. So that's why we run this light campaign. And sometimes a light campaign might be throwing out a big wide net. Let's see about people that are interested in this particular topic, and then eventually narrowing that down to, okay, well, we know that a majority of our fans are aged between 20 and 35. They're females. They like running marathons, but they also like Lorna Jane and shopping at really nice shoe shops or something like that. So we can get really good feel for who these people are. So that's why we're building up our fans and followers. Also, that's also an extra touch on them as well. So we know that people, generally it takes around about 10 to 20 touches on a person for them to buy nowadays, okay? So we really need to be getting in front of these people as much as possible, and then becoming fans of your page, and then you being able to post the right content to those people means that you are constantly front of mind. So really, really important as well. We find that our fans are the people that convert at the highest and at a lower cost per conversion as well. So really important to build these up. And last but not least, social proof. And that's really the last reason why we're building up fans, is for social proof, but certainly it also gives people the impression that you are a lot bigger than what you are if you have a whole heap of followers, okay? And people tend to trust pages that have a lot more fans and are getting a lot more interaction. So that's the next step in the process. Then we want to really build up a list of followers. So actually take them from Facebook and take them onto our email list. So we're going to be doing this by doing a list building campaign, which is obviously what we've run through as well. So that's offering something of high perceived value, low cost of delivery to your your fans and followers who like your Facebook page, okay? So we did give a whole list of different types of list building things. That's in Facebook Fortunes 4 training. So if you haven't watched that, please go back and have a look at that. The next thing is really to market to that list. So putting together a really good email campaign so that you can actually drive those people that have signed onto your list to get them to become buyers. Now, we want to be emailing to them from day one. So you should have an automated system in place here. And one of the things that, there are all different types of, schools of thought about when you should email your followers and how often you should email them. I think your followers or your people on your list, they're really savvy people, and you'll get an idea on how much you should actually email them by testing that. So what I would tend to do in my first week after they've signed onto my list, they are at the most hottest, I guess. So you really want to be touching base with them pretty much every day after they sign up once a day. And I would always be offering them something. Now, you don't want to be offering them something like straight off the bat, but you want to be putting it at least in a PS at the bottom of your email. So the first email that goes out might be, about the free report. Hope you got a okay. If you've got any questions, let us know. The second one might be, hey, did you know that the number one mistake is XYZ? By the way, if you want to avoid this, here's my product. And then so on. I actually do have some ideas of headlines for emails in my next slide, so we'll go through that. So we want to market to that list either by email funnel and set this up properly, or by Facebook advertising, or in fact both, okay? So some people will not open your emails. It's simple as that. They sign up and then they'll never, ever, ever open your email ever again, okay? It does happen. Life gets in the way and all sorts of other things, but they do go back onto Facebook. And if you can actually remarket to them inside Facebook, then that's really, really good. So we might want to be remarketing to them back inside Facebook again. Now, I have put together a Facebook remarketing course, which all you guys get access to as well, okay? So what we'll do there is, if you haven't seen the link to that, I will put it in the training so that you can get and sign yourself up to the Facebook remarketing course, just so that you can learn how to do some of that. Of course, through the Facebook Fortunes program, I help you with, your first campaigns. But after that, you might want to sort of learn how to do this sort of thing yourself as well. And really good training, really good way to educate yourself on how to remarket to your fan base, which I'm finding is getting the biggest amount of conversion. The next thing in the funnel is, of course, providing having a product or a service. So really some money making opportunities, which we'll be going through today. So once you've got the right topic, you've got your Facebook page fully optimized, you've built your fans and followers, you've got your list of followers as well. So we've done some list building. We're marketing to that list. So we're emailing and we're doing some Facebook ads. We want to also have a product or service that we can offer them. So we'll be going through some different types of ways that you can make money with your Facebook business. And then, of course, with absolutely everything, we want to test, measure and optimize. So once we've got it all up and running, and you might not make sales straight away. I mean, it's pretty rare that you'll make sales on your first time that you put something out there, okay? It usually takes a little bit of tweaking before that can happen, okay? So we want to have a look, run some traffic to our page, see how many people are coming to our page, and then after a good 1,000 people have come to the page, then we can get a really good gauge on, okay, did anyone buy? Because if they didn't, then there's something wrong with them. How long were they on the page for? How many people clicked on the ad? How many people clicked on the email? So having those stats, Google Analytics set up on your page, looking at your Facebook stats and everything is really, really important to know actually where in the process they fell over. Where in the process did they not convert, okay? Because some of the things that you really, really want to be looking at here is, okay, if we're talking about a Facebook ad, it's how many people saw the ad. So 1,000 people saw the ad compared to how many people actually clicked through to the website. So let's just say 1,000 people saw a Facebook ad that was selling a product or service, and you only had, 50 of those 1,000 people click through to your website. Well, you might want to reconsider your ad because that might be pretty low. You'll see the click-through rate on Facebook, and if it shows anything under 1%, then you've got to change your ad. It's not working, okay? Then you want to compare, the next thing you want to compare is, okay, how many people converted, or how many people were on your page, came to your page, and then of those, how many converted? Again, if you're using Facebook ads, the stats are all there. If you're using your email system and whatever else, you might want to sit there and go, okay, how many people opened my email that I sent out? Because again, if you've got a really low open rate, then you might want to reconsider the headline of your email. And then another stat you want to look at, and you should be having Google Analytics on your page. If it's anything that we've built, you will have Google Analytics on it, but you want to look at how long did they stay on your website? Because if you've got a really high bounce rate, so they're coming to your website and they're only on there for a second and coming back off, then there is something wrong with your headline. But keep in mind that everything that you do, you only change one thing at a time to be able to fully understand exactly what is not working. So if they're coming to your website and bouncing off, the very first thing we'd probably do is change the headline. If they're still doing it, then we might want to change the opening graphic or something like that. So certainly things to look at anyway, but that's the process. So if we're going to look at that in sort of a bit of a diagram here, and many of you guys have already seen this and I've gone through this with you, so I will go through it, again for the ones that haven't and for the purposes of this webinar. But this is the conversion funnel, and this is what tends to work over and over again. So we've got our Facebook page. From our Facebook page, we do our posts and we build up organic traffic, or we build up engagement, okay? And we can post in all sorts of different ways, but one of my suggestions would be 10 engagement type of posts, which are your quotes, which are your information, which are your interesting stories, and so on. 4 soft sell type of posts, and these, between the soft sells and the money posts, I've been doing a little bit of more testing lately, and I'll tend to do maybe a couple of money posts a week now. But again, this is just something that you're going to have to experiment with and figure out what's best for you and your audience, okay? But the soft sell posts are the, hey, listen, I'm suggesting that I've got something, but I'm not actually selling it right now. Or it might be some testimonials of, hey, really excited that this person, just, made an extra $1,000 a month with my Facebook remarketing program. Woohoo, that's fantastic, okay? And then that's it, not doing anything else. People will come back and ask, oh, what Facebook remarketing program are you talking about? So a soft sell. And then you've got your money post. And your money post is either to get them to buy or to get them to opt in, okay? So that's your your posting side of your Facebook page. But then, of course, we have our Facebook ads. And so in our Facebook ads, we're always running a like campaign. And on average, we want that like campaign to be at about $5 a day, okay? I do have some pages that I'm not working on as much as I should. So I've got some Facebook businesses that I run that I have just $2.50 like campaigns until I have time to actually go in and start selling more products into them. About $5 a day on average, okay? And our Facebook ads, we want to target our fans, obviously except in the like campaign. We want to target our database. So if you don't have one right now, most of you guys have a database, so that's all cool. But if that's our custom audience, and obviously that's when applicable, when you've got one. We want to target our website visitors. So this is all the people that have come to our website at some stage within 180 days, within 30 days, within 7 days. We can set it up so that it can target all these people at the different places. We also want to target our lookalike audience. So these are people that are very, very similar to our website visitors or our database or our fans, and we can build a whole heap of these lookalike audiences. These guys are actually really highly converting. What I'm finding is that Facebook's really good at knowing exactly who your audience is, and if you ask them to produce a lookalike audience from your website visitors, or even better, a lookalike audience from your buyers, Facebook will come up with the top 1% of people on Facebook it believes will be most likely to take the action that you need them to take. They know this because Facebook is watching absolutely everything your fans are doing online, or people are doing what you are doing online, okay? So they take note every single time you post, every single photo you take, everyone you tag, where you are, when you've got location services on, when you're sending messages. They can see all. So they are very, very able to pick out the exact audience that you need to be able to convert. So very, very clever. And then, of course, we target our precise interests. So I will tend to mainly target my precise interests. So these are people that like running marathons, for instance. And this will be mainly for my like campaign. And then I'll start for my selling campaigns, depending again on how many fans I've got in database and website visitors and so on. But then I'll tend to do fans, database, website visitors, and lookalike audience. These are the most highly converting people. But again, it will depend on the size of your audience. So if you've got a really low fan base, well, we might want to still continue to target precise interests. If you've got a low database or low website visitors, then we might still want to target our precise interests. Or we produce a lookalike audience from these people. So our next thing is obviously to drive these people to our list, and all call if they say no, we don't want to go onto our list, we'll remarket back to them to get them back onto our list. Okay, if they say yes, then they go through the funnel. So the contact goes to the thank you page, they get an email, and then our free report or lead magnet, which will also promote something of value add. They get email number 2 with a value add and a call to action, and this will take them to a sales page. And our sales page, which we'll discuss some of these things today, but will be a low-cost product, so a tripwire, which is either a $4.95, a $6.95, or a $9.95 product. And I know some of you guys have done these little tripwires as well. These little tripwires are sort of self-funding lead magnets. So effectively, you want to have these ones paying for your advertising, okay? That's the whole idea of them. They're not really designed to make you a whole heap of money. What you should be doing with the money you're making from a tripwire is reinvesting it into your marketing to be able to upsell more things. But the reason also why we might want to do a tripwire, so our low cost product, that's a little bit more value than our free report. The other reason why we might want to do one of these is because we know that statistically, if someone already pulls out their credit card to buy, that they will do it again. So that's why we want this tripwire. Can be quite important. I don't necessarily have it on many of my products right now, but I know people that are using it quite successfully. Your one-off information product, which is your ebook, which we'll talk about a bit more. That could be a $49 product. Our membership site, so our continuity program, which could be $49 a month. Any type of merchandise or affiliate products, right? So they either don't buy, then they'll go into our email funnel. And you know how just before I was saying there's some really good headlines for email funnel? Well, it might be, here's the report, the number one mistake, everything has changed, want to know, So those are really good headlines for perhaps for your emails. But you want these going out for those first 7 days afterwards. And then after that, you might want to spread them out every 3 days or once a week or whatever you feel your audience needs. And again, test it. Do a couple of extra emails a week and see if you have any people unsubscribe, or see what your open rate is and everything like that. So if they do buy, then we might want to upsell them. So if they do buy our tripwire, we definitely want to upsell them to what our main product is. If they do buy our one-off information product, well, maybe they'd be interested in a membership site. Or if they do buy our membership site, then maybe they might be interested in merchandise or our one-off product, and so on. So you want to always be looking at what else you can sell. If they've already told you, we want to buy your product and we're interested in it, you can guarantee you that they will want more of that, okay? So that's the funnel. Again, I know most of you guys have already seen this and are going through this process right now, okay? But what we really obviously want to touch on today is some of the money-making opportunities, and give you some examples of some different types of money-making products that there are out there at the moment. So let's just start with how to make money from social media, okay? So there's some different ways that you can do this and what we'll be discussing today. So first is your one-off information product. So this might be an ebook, this might be audios, this might be videos even, okay? But something that they can pretty much get straight away, okay? I actually have one that I've produced. It was, first of all, it was a training program, but realistically it's an information product now, and that's my remarketing training, because they can get access to it straight away. But it is kind of a little bit of a cross between an one-off information product and a membership site, because it's a training course. But there's a whole heap of different things you can do in there. There's also the continuity programs. So this might be, again, your membership site, so where they pay once and they sign up once, and then you continue to get paid every month whilst they're in that program, okay? The idea with these membership sites, though, is to really keep it so that they do have to stay on, and they really want to stay on. What I would tend to do with a continuity program nowadays, or a membership site, is I would offer them to have, I'd put together, and I do this with some of my programs, is have that private Facebook group. So A, they're getting the program, but B, they're also getting access to you with the private Facebook group as well. It tends to make people stay in a little bit longer, because they actually are able to work with other people and speak with others as well. Then we've got affiliate products. I want to show you some affiliate products and and what to look out for if you're looking for affiliate products. Again, affiliate products are a really, really quick way to make your first dollar online, but also to subsidize what you're actually doing now as well. I know many of you guys have already got your own products and whatever else. Well, you might want to look at, okay, what other things can we add to this product suite that isn't going to be really time consuming, that our audience might want as well, okay? I used affiliate products, in fact, and many of you guys might have seen this when I did the first 30 days, the run marathon training stuff. That's what I sold in the first month, was affiliate products, until I developed my own. So wanted money coming in whilst I was basically being paid to develop my own programs, which was really cool. And then, of course, I'm going to show you a webinar strategy and how you can make money using webinars, and then how you can make money using putting together some merchandise, and some of the sites that you can go to get those merchandise as well. Ones that are no money down straight up, or ones that there's different types of ones anyway. We'll get into a bit more of that in a minute. And then a podcast, but actually what I've done is I'm actually leaving the podcast out of today's session. I just wanted to put it in here really because some of you guys may or may not know, but I went off to San Diego recently and went to the Social Media Examiner conference. So it was a 3-day conference in San Diego with the top marketers in social media. And one of the things that I learned there, in fact, interestingly enough, I learned that I am obviously somewhere near the top of my game in the world, because there was a lot of information that they shared that many of the other marketers didn't actually know about, that I've actually been doing with you guys, and you guys do know about. And one of the big things that they were talking about at the social media conference was remarketing. So Facebook remarketing or retargeting. they call it both. So that's really your website custom audience pixel on your website and being able to remarket to those, which we're already doing. So that was fantastic. Amazing how many people didn't know that. And the other thing that they were talking about was podcasts. So a podcast is a little bit like what we're doing right now, except it's audio. So people just download an audio of a lesson in something, I guess. I kind of liken them to a little bit of a private radio station on a particular topic. Now, these are huge in the States, absolutely massive in the States, and becoming more and more popular in Australia here. We're probably a little bit behind, but really thinking about, okay, what I guess people are really, really busy and they're rushing around a lot. So being able to put that audio, an audio that they can listen to while they're out exercising. Also, cars are now being developed. The new cars are being developed with the iTunes built into them, so people can get podcasts straight away. So this is definitely something to look at. Now, I've decided to put it here, but haven't actually done much on it because I'm still in the process of learning a little bit more about these podcasts and putting together my own. So can't speak on podcasts with experience right now, but just want to let you know to keep your eyes and ears out especially for podcasting. And perhaps if you can start looking at some start thinking about whether podcasting can work in your business to really help drive traffic back to your products and services, and what gaps there are in the market in podcasting as well, which is what I'm doing right now, is researching all that. Okay, so let's get kick-started with the one-off information products. So there are certain steps, and many of you guys might have already seen this with Andrew and Daryl's stuff, but if you haven't before, I'm just going to go through it. But you can build your own information product business, or sell information products, ebooks, okay? But one of the things to really look at here, and this is in the Facebook Fortunes, it's in the mega pack. If you're looking at doing your own ebook and you haven't got this started yet, just to let you know that as part of the Facebook Fortunes program, we give you lessons in how to do this, and it's a step-by-step put together by Daryl, and that's in the mega pack area. And so you already have the logins for those, but if anyone is stuck, let me know. But you also get your ebook site built for you from us as well. Okay, so really the things that you need to be looking at is identifying a potential market niche, which you've already done, right? But you really want to have a look at as part of your Facebook business, but you really want to look at what is the gap in the market? What is it that these people want? What can you add value to them? Or how can you add value to them? Okay, so really identify what it is you could do an information product on, okay? And then, again, we've really done this as part of this program, is testing the niche to see if it'll be profitable. So we've already done that in terms of we've gone out there, you've picked your topic, you've gone and checked whether there's other Facebook pages out there with over 10,000 likes, on them to see whether people actually like them. We've done a filter campaign, so decided, run the like campaign to make sure that we get enough likes under that 20 cents a like kind of bracket, and saying that some likes are getting a bit more expensive nowadays. Depends how you do it. I mean, I've still got likes at around about 2 cents on some niches, but also up to around about 50 cents on other niches, and to some people that is perfectly fine, okay? But so we've really already tested it to see if it'll be profitable. But if you've already developed your Facebook business, it might really, or got a lot of fans on your page, it might be really just asking them a few questions about, okay, guys, know you really, really love marathon running and whatever else. What is your biggest problem that you're facing? Or no, you really, really love like Siamese cats in this instance. What is the biggest problem that you're facing? What is it that you'd really like to know? So you can get the information from them to find out what you should do your ebook about, and then develop the product. Okay, so in terms of developing the product, again, there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. Now, one, you can write it yourself. Now, this will take a lot of time, but if it's something that you're really, really passionate about and you want to spend some time writing it, then go ahead and do that. My suggestion, though, would be actually to pay a ghostwriter. So get someone off Elance or Odesk I tend to use Elance. It's just one of those things. I just find it a lot cleaner, better system to use than some of the other ones out there. But you might have a better experience with Odesk or some of the other ones out there. But even though I can write and have a journalistic background, I always get other people to write my stuff initially, write my ebooks, and then I'll go through and just put my own touch to it. Okay, so the Kerry feel to it, if need be. There's a couple of books out there that I've businesses that I've got out there that don't need a Kerry feel because I have no idea about the topics. I'll let you know one of them as we go further on in today's webinar. But so you develop the product, you can write it yourself, which will take time, and some people may want to do that, or you can get a ghostwriter to write it, or you can do a little bit of mix of both. So you can get a contractor to research and everything like that and put it together, and then you can go through and critique it and whatever else. Okay, then the sales letter. Now we've got heaps of information, and again in the mega pack, on how to write a sales letter. Okay, I think we've got Brett Thompson's 7-hour sales letter, and there's a specific formula in there. Of course we critique this for you, but you put that together. And then building the website, obviously with the collection process, okay, which we tend to use ClickBank for this instance. Now, again, we build this website for you. If you have done this, gone through this, and you have an ebook ready to submit, then you really want to contact Sharon at support@ourinternetsecrets.com to have a call with her to go through this process a little bit more, and where you can submit your ebook site and so on, so that we can put it together. And then, of course, after we've done it all, we've got it up and running, then you really want to obviously promote it, but monitor and fine tune it, as I was talking about before with all of this stuff. You really need to know your stats, know how many people are coming to your website, what actions they're taking, what inactions they're taking, how long they're on their website for, are they acting on your ads, and so on, to be able to know whether this is working or not. When you first put your ebook up, it's highly unlikely for it to sell straight away. In saying that, if you've already built your Facebook audience and you know your niche and you know your target, and that you already know this is what they want, then I expect that you would sell an ebook pretty much straight away, okay, once you've built your list and everything like that. So definitely monitor and fine-tune that as you go along. Okay, now some of the examples out there of these ebooks, and sorry, I've got this, this is all back to front, so I'm just going to put them all up now. Rightio. So this is one of my ones, cardmakingforprofit.com. If you haven't seen it before, I will click onto that. Here we go. So this little book here was one of the very first ones I developed a few years ago now, and this is one of the ones that I don't really associate myself with too much, because I don't know anything about card making. But I actually don't lie in here either. I just let them know that, listen, I am the author. I have put this together. It's not something that I do, but I'm a marketer, and so I show people how they can actually turn their card making business into a thriving money-making business. Now, I got a ghostwriter to write this for me. It cost me around about $300, I think this one here was $350 to get someone to write it for me. Again, I didn't know anything about the topic. I just gave them some ideas of what I wanted, gave them some examples of what I wanted, and they wrote it. And then I went back through and critiqued it, and then put a little social media segment in here and so on, okay? Now, this book, when I first started marketing it, in fact, I didn't really market it. I got it up and running and then kind of left it, because it was like, oh, that's done now. I've got other things to do. But I had affiliates take off with this book, and I was making a few $100s a month from the book without really doing anything. And that's kind of continued. I did have a little bit of a dry spell there for a while when the site got hacked, and it was basically showing that it had malware on it, so no one was buying it. My affiliates disappeared and so on. But I actually set up a Facebook page again a couple of months ago, and again it's ramped itself back up again. So whenever I do a post about this particular book, I get sales, and the sales for this book, they're I think it's $45 US. So that's pretty cool. But that's just sort of an idea of an ebook that I've got out there as well. And I'm building a list. It's actually had a huge response since I started doing the Facebook marketing on this particular book. Like I said, I'd put it up there initially to do the process, and then really did nothing with it until just recently, so it was selling anyway, but that's just an example of one. We've got Annette Welsford. Some of you guys might have heard of Annette. She did actually really, really well with this book. So this is one of her first books that she put up. She's done a whole heap since, but Annette's actually a marketer herself. So she runs a marketing business helping tradies market themselves. But on the side, she's got this little project, which is her best juicy tomatoes. Okay, so this little ebook here in her first few years was making around about I think $5,000 a month from what I remember. She ramped it up, and in 1 year she made $75,000. But she was actually getting she actually turned it into a hard copy book as well, because people were going, her main target was the older people, and they were waiting for their book to arrive in the post. Okay, so she's now in bookstores and all sorts of other things as well. But Annette is seriously one of the most, I suppose, statistical people I know. So she really tests, measures this constantly. It's an ever-evolving page. Well, it was. So here's this page here. So that was a really, really successful one. And then we've got Lynn, I think you're on the call today. Just want to show them an example of yours. Unfortunately, Lynn's had a few issues with the URL of this book, but just to show you another example of an ebook. Let's click on this. And I think, Lynn, you were saying that you've sold a couple of these books as well. Is that correct? A hands up if that's correct, or if I don't see a hand, then that's not correct. But I think it was that people actually expected a hard copy book here as well. But anyway, here's an example of Lynn's book. It's now called Scuba Dive Globally. And it's a really, really good example of a great sales letter and a really well put together site. Okay, so if you are looking for examples, those are some examples that I would thoroughly recommend that you look at. And here's actually a couple from ClickBank, and it's really good to go to ClickBank and look at the marketplace inside ClickBank and see what other people are doing and other people in your niche. Now, this one here is the #1 ClickBank seller in the last 2 weeks or so, and then I went back to 2 months, and it is this #1 best-selling ebook on ClickBank. Now, the only thing that with this one here is it would be really, really hard to market on Facebook, because it says Miracle Shake treats root cause of diabetes. Okay, so the fact that it's got Miracle Shake here might ring alarm bells with Facebook. Okay, so do think about that with your text. Facebook's got really, really strict with its ads to a certain extent. So if you run an ad through Facebook and you're claiming something that they believe, and it's only what they believe is unrealistic, then they won't approve your ad. And it can either be in the ad copy or in the landing page copy as well. Okay, and I've seen them disapprove some ads that are realistic, but just certain wording in it they didn't like, so they've just gone no. Okay, so do look at this, but actually have a look at this particular you'll see these will be in the notes, but do look at this particular page and look at the video on that, because it is the #1 seller on ClickBank, so it might be worth having a look at it and seeing what they're actually doing. Okay, and here's another one. Actually, I chose this one because it's about the 4th or 5th. Okay, and it's an Australian site, so it's a good one to have a look at. Oopsie daisy, let's go back here. Just might have to take that down to and copy and paste it. Let's see what that will open. Interestingly enough, here's another thing that they're doing, and I've seen this with a few of them now. When you go to leave the page, and this can be set up that it goes, wait, get 85% off now. so they've offered it at the first price. If you go and leave the page, you can get a discount, eh? Pretty cheeky, really, but it's obviously working, because a couple of the top books I've seen actually do this. So we're going to say leave page, and some of them go, when you go to do this, they go, no, you sure? Here we go. Okay, so the secret bulk cooking system the supermarkets don't want you to know about. Watch this video. This is the best 4 minutes you'll spend this year. So definitely come in and have a look and see what these guys are doing because they're in the top sort of top 10. I think they're number 4 in the ClickBank affiliate sales. So people are making, I think they were saying up to $5,000 a day on this particular book or affiliates are. So definitely worth checking out what these guys are doing. Now this one here would be fine to sell on Facebook because there's nothing really here that I can see that would be classed as unrealistic or bad or whatever else. So if you've got an audience that might be interested in this particular book, then that might be something that you might want to look at, either producing something similar yourself or initially selling the affiliate products. Okay. So those are just some idea of ebooks. Now let's get on to the membership side of things. Nope, so we'll just click through those, all completely out of order. So we've got our membership site. So in terms of the system to building your own information product business using membership sites, the first thing again is choosing the topic. And what I mean by choosing the topic inside the Facebook Fortunes program is really, okay, what inside your niche, inside your industry, could you do a membership site on? Okay, and what is it that people might be interested in? And again, this is something that you might want to go back and ask your fans. That's why you've built these fans up, is so that you can ask them the questions. So you'd go back to your list and go back to your fans. What's your biggest problem you face, and what support would you like long-term support you'd like? Okay, and then of course designing the business model and software, and again that's something that we do for you. So if you are ready to submit a membership site, then again, in the mega pack, there's the steps there to do it, but you can also book in your implementation call with Sharon at support@ourinternetsecrets.com, and she can go through this process with you. So definitely utilize that, okay, guys? I mean, you've got it there. Don't wait till the last minute. If you're thinking about doing a membership site, I suggest you get on the call and have a chat with her about how to do that. Or first of all, get on a call with me and let's discuss what we could do, what sort of membership site we could put together for your business. Some of your businesses really won't suit this. Some will be perfect, okay? And then preparing the content, okay? In terms of the content, really seriously, you only need to have, your first class, but I think to submit a membership site through OIS, you need your first 3 e-classes, okay? So these are the things that people are going to get once they sign up. Map out your first 10. What are the first 10 going to be, but really only prepare 3. We don't want to get on and prepare all our membership, all our e-classes or our videos or whatever else when we don't actually know whether it's going to sell or not yet, okay? So don't spend, 2 or 3 months putting this together. You really can do this in a week to get it up and running, okay? And test it, get it out to the market and make sure it's going to work, okay? Then, of course, we're going to market our site, right? Now, marketing our site, you can use Google AdWords, you can use Twitter, you can use your own blog and that, but my suggestion would be let's use your Facebook. Let's use the people that you've already built up, your fan base and your list as well through Facebook marketing, Facebook ads, and Facebook remarketing as well. And then, of course, we're going to monitor and fine-tune this as well. So as with absolutely everything, we need to make sure what's working, what's not working, and so on, okay? And then start looking at other people in the business, I guess, or in your industry that are not direct competition, but who have your list, and contact them. See if that's something that you can work together. You've got this amazing membership site. They've got a list of people as well. How can you work together so that you can get your stuff, out on other people's lists as well? And then, of course, once you've started selling your membership site, then you can upsell back-end products. So that might be your one-off information product. It might be merchandise, which we're going to talk about. It might be a training program. It might be all sorts of other things that you can sell. But again, once they've committed and they've signed up, then to your membership site, then they're committed, then they want more information from you, and it's really up to you to provide that information to them as well. So some of the ideas, some of the examples of membership sites, and this is actually Learn to Play Better Golf. This is actually Sharon's site, or her partner Jimmy, his site. So I'll take you through each of the pages and what they look like. But first of all, we've got a landing page. So this is a page that people land on when they, that you promote, I guess, first of all. And this is basically a short sales letter. Really, the purpose of this page, the only purpose on this page is to get them to put their name and email address in to get the free report. Okay, that is it. We're not selling a membership site from this page. We're only selling the click through to please, yes, I'd like to claim the 7 most common costly mistakes made by golfers and how to avoid them free video. That's all we're selling in this. So the ad would be, want to know the 7 most costly mistakes made by golfers and how to avoid them, free video, click here now to download, or click here to find out how, or whatever else. So that would be the ad. It would take them to this, and then they would read through this and put name and email address in, okay? And we want to be tracking them all through the process as well. The next thing after they've put the name and email address in, they'll come to a free content page. So our free content page looks a little bit like this. So this is actually what we've promised them. So we've said we're going to give you the 7 most common costly mistakes made by golfers that prevent them from playing their best consistently and how to avoid them. So now we've got the free content. But all the way through this free content, we now want to be upselling them, okay? So we've given them exactly what they want. We've got common mistake 1 through to 7, and all through it, if you want more and if you want to learn how to play better golf, if you'd like some one-on-one coaching by Jim, click here to find out how to register for our coaching program for just $49 per month, okay? Which is really cool. So once they've done that, then they come to this page here, which we'll just copy, which is a sign-up page. This is where the sales letter is, but keep in mind that with this sales letter for the sign-up page, it doesn't need to be as long as an information sign-up page, because we've already sold them. We've done three touches on them now. So we've given them the landing page, and the only action is to get them to sign up to the free content. We've gone through all that free content. By now they're like, wow, if they give away this much information in the free content, imagine what they're going to give away in the coaching program. And now it's, hey, join Jim's practical, easy to use, hold your hand every step of the way coaching program for just $49 per month, right? And now we've got our sign up page. Now keep in mind, look at it. It's nowhere near as long as what our sales letter would be for an ebook, because they're already sold. We're just going to tell them, okay, this is actually what's in the program. I've got a short video, here's what's included, okay? And then they can go join now, and it takes them through the payment process. So that's really the steps with the membership site. And some other examples we've got is one Andrew and Daryl have just done recently. The great thing about this particular one is they sold it well and truly before they built it, okay? They made sure it was what people wanted. So this program sold before it was built. That was proof of concept that it was actually going to work, okay? So here's the sales page. I think this has only just been put up, but they've been producing the program for a little while now, okay? So that's what happens when you start really building the list, is you can actually start selling things before you build them. You can get people to sign up to stuff before it's done, once you have that list. And another one here is Julie, her autism recovery program. And she also sold this before she made it as well. So, again, it's like, don't spend months doing this sort of thing. Get the proof of concept from your fans or from your people. Sell it before you make it, okay? And here's her sales page. So definitely have a look at what these guys are doing. And this is something that we build for you. So if you really, are looking at something like this, then the first thing you do is perhaps have a chat with me first in our next strategy call. And then from then, we can put you in touch with Sharon to get this site built and what you need to do to all the stuff you need in place to get them built, okay? So that's number 2, that's membership sites, okay? So we've got our one-off information product, which is our ebook, and then we've got our membership site. Now look at affiliate products. Now, the reason why I would suggest affiliate products are for a couple of reasons. One is, and it's probably not so much for you guys because you do have your own products and you're well into it now, but this is what I would suggest is if you were actually going to be starting your next Facebook business, then I would suggest one of the very first things you might want to do is look at selling affiliate products initially before you develop your own. Again, proof of concept. So if you can start selling affiliate products, people are buying them, then go out and produce your own very similar one. It's better to get 100% of that money and be in control of that list more so. Okay, so in terms of affiliate products, now some of the things to really look at when selecting a product to promote. Now, one of the things that I would do is I would go to ClickBank and go to Marketplace and ClickBank. So I'm just going to go there now and just show you exactly what this looks like. Oopsie daisy, let's go into, nope. Sorry, I'm going completely wrong places here. Let's have a look. Let's close some of these down and go to. So there's all sorts of different sites. You can go to Amazon, but I think Amazon, you probably don't make quite as much money as what you can from ClickBank. ClickBank's probably one of my favorite places. So we can go into Marketplace here. And in Marketplace, you can start searching for any products at all. So I can go marathon running and click on that. And you find something in your niche. And then you look through, okay? There's all sorts of things here to look at. They'll have stats, initial sale, how much, and the percentage of the sale, right? And then they've got this little thing called a gravity score here. So it's how popular it is, how many people are making money from this particular gravity score, okay? So these are some of the things to look at. Now, what to be careful of and really what to look out for if you do decide that you want to grab affiliate product just to pop up there and start selling to your fan base just to see whether you can make some money from them initially, is what does the sales letter look like? Okay, so we don't want any leaks. So this means we don't want to see a sales letter that has an opt-in box or any way to contact the vendor as such, okay, or any really obvious way to contact the vendor would be my take on it, because most of them will have to have a contact form or some type of contact, but as long as it's not really, really obvious, okay, and we don't really want too much hype in the sales letter, obviously no false statements, and make sure that you feel comfortable with the sales letter, okay. Now, so that's the very first things that I look at, okay, because if there's any leaks in the process, then you're might be driving all the traffic there, and then people are opting in and you're missing out on that, unless they can track your affiliate all the way through from opt-in to sale, right? Also, we know that if we put an opt-in box on a sales letter for any type of product, it really waters down the sales, okay? We only want them buying straight from the sales letter rather than opting in. If we want them to opt in, we'll do a lead gen campaign, okay? But in terms of affiliate, really look at the sales letter. The other thing that I like to do is I like to contact the vendor via email or check them out online somewhere, okay? The thing is that one of the things that you might want to look at doing is getting a copy of what you want to sell. Let them know, hey, listen, I have a huge big fan base on Facebook. I really want to offer them some other stuff. Be happy to sell your book, except I really would like to check it out first, okay? You might want to buy the book if it's not expensive, but both products that I initially used sold through my marathon runners, both of them were I checked out the book first, so they just sent me copies of them, and I approved them because I didn't obviously want to sell something a rubbish to my fans. I wanted to make sure that it was of good quality and that it would be something that I would write myself. So that's what I did, and I recommend that you guys do the same if possible. The other thing to look at, and this is what they say is really, really important, and when I say they, it's the experts that are doing, super selling affiliate people, is gravity score, and especially when you're looking inside Amazon, okay? So many people will say that you want a really, really high gravity score, but sometimes this can mean that there's too much competition, okay? I would try and keep the gravity score under 60, okay? You'll see what I mean when you go inside ClickBank. They have these little gravity scores down the bottom here, okay? And again, it's you know, the really, really high ones tend to have will tend to have you know, really high competition as well. Okay, so just it's a nice little it's I guess it's a bit of testing and measuring and figuring it out for yourself, looking at the sales letter, contacting the vendor, having a look what your commission is as well, you know, how much money you're going to make on each sale and whatever else to decide what it is that you're comfortable with selling. Okay. But gravity score really is the last thing I look at. But some people and some of the super sellers out there, this is really important to them. But to me, what's most important is sales letter, what the sales letter looks like. Can I get a copy of the book? Do I feel comfortable selling it? So here's just a couple of ones that I sold first off, and I actually sold both of them. One was a more advanced, so Breaking Your PR. That was a more advanced book, and that was actually $100 they were selling it for, and I think I made $70 per sale off that one. And then there was a beginner's marathon guide, so a little bit of both. So just to give you an idea, this one here was the marathon training program. So 66.43 is what I made on this one. And then there was a beginner's guide. So it might have been that one there, Essential Guide to Running Your First Marathon. Yeah, I think that was it. Those were the two. So, and again, I just contacted the vendor. I went onto the page here. Don't hit the wall at a 20 mile. If you're a runner, now you can increase your speed, stamina, and strength and dominate the marathon, which was really cool. I liked a little bit about this, the way it was written. There were some things I think in this particular one, it actually looks okay now, but there was one, it might have been one of the other products that I was promoting that I thought was a little bit hypey for my Australian audience. So when I was promoting it, I basically said, I sent out an email and said, hey guys, the book's a little bit, the sales letter for this particular product is a little bit hypey. Just ignore that. It is actually a really, really good book that I thoroughly recommend. Okay, so I sent that out to my people just to let them know that, yeah, don't be put off by the fact that, you know, it's a hypey sales letter. It's actually a really good book and you should read it. But that's only because I looked through it and I thought, yep, this is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so have a look through it, and I think I just might have gone right down to the bottom here and figured out how to contact us. So again, it's got to contact us there, but it's not really, really easy for people to find. So I contacted them and said, hey, listen, I've got X amount of fans. I'd be really interested in promoting your book. Can I have a copy of it? Okay, so that's one of the things that you can do with affiliate stuff. So if you want to get more training on you know, ClickBank affiliate products, there is a segment in the How to Make Money from socialmedia.com, and it's in the first 30 days in there, and it's module 18. ClickBank affiliate product. Okay, so do take note of that. I have a whole lesson on exactly how to do this affiliate stuff through ClickBank and what you should be looking for and how to do it and so on. So go ahead and take a look at that lesson if you're interested. And our second to last thing, so this is number 4, is using webinars to make money. Okay, so again, you've got to build up that audience and that list and whatever else, but here's the whole system for running a webinar. So first of all, pick your topic. What is it that you actually think that you can run a webinar about? Again, asking your people what they're having a problem with. Then choose your webinar software. Now, I tend to use either GoToWebinar for live webinars. Now, GoToWebinar does actually, it's a bit more expensive than most. It's around about 79 US dollars. So it ends up being about 100, 104. It depends what you sign up on, dollars Australian. What I would suggest you do is actually give the Australian people a call. So go to GoToWebinar, click that you're from Australia and call them, because I believe you'll get a much better rate if you actually speak to them rather than going off the page. And then just have a chat to them about exactly what you want. But that's for live webinar. I think you can also do a trial for around about $1 anyway. So you might want to trial it for a month. The issue with the trial is I don't believe you can actually record the webinar in the 1 month trial. So if you just want to use it as something to to test, to play around with them, do the trial. If it's something that you're really serious about, that you know you'll produce a good webinar straight away, which, by the way, you probably won't. Your first webinar is usually the worst. They get better from them sometimes. I still stuff up a few times, like right now when I've got my left my Skype on and my Facebook on, and I keep getting beep beeps, sort of things like that really should be, you should learn from your first webinar, but all very good. Anyway, so choose your webinar software, go to Webinar for live webinars. Then there's other systems like Stealth, S-T-A-L-T-H, Stealth Seminar System. Bit more expensive. It's around about $199. I think you can get it for $97 US to sign up. And then it's around about $69 US a month. But they do everything for you. It's amazing. So realistically, this is pre-recorded automated webinars. You send them through your sales copy. They set up a sales page for you. They set up your list for you. They do all sorts of things for you. And basically, you give them the best recording of a webinar and get them to put it up, okay? But the thing with this is that I would always be running and getting your best converting live webinar first before you turn to the automated system. The great thing with Stealth, though, is it also does live, but it does live through Google, Google Hangouts. So you really, rather than using a PowerPoint, which is what I'm using right now, you'd want to be using loading everything up to a Google Doc. They just run a bit better through Google Hangouts. But again, if you're up to this and you want to run one of these, then it's a discussion with me, okay? So choose your webinar software. All sorts of different ones out there. I've heard some people having quite a good success with Easy Webinar System, which is a plugin to your to WordPress. Again, I haven't used it, but I've heard it's really good, so definitely something worth looking at. Then you load your webinar up, which is step 3, and then market your webinar. So again, it would be marketing your webinar on Facebook to your fans, to your list, and so on. I'm using a really, really good remarketing system right now. I'll give you a link to my remarketing webinar, and I suggest that you book for it. I've got it on, if you haven't already. Some of you guys I know have been on it, but it's on Thursday night, and I also have a replay that I have available as well. You also get access to my whole training system for the remarketing system. So as part of the Facebook Fortunes program, so definitely worth looking at. But I actually go through in that particular webinar the whole system that I've been using for my remarketing webinars, that I've been using, that we've also been using with another person as well, and these are producing absolutely amazing results. Okay, anywhere from up to between $2,000 and $4,000 a week when we hold these webinars. Okay, and that's just the starting out. So the next thing after preparing your slides really is the last step in this, or not quite the last step, but you really want to pick your topic, maybe do an outline of it, choose your software, load your webinar, market your webinar, make sure people are going to be on there, and then prepare your slides. You don't need to do the prepare your slides first, okay? But make sure you do prepare them in plenty of time before your webinar so that you don't have any nasty surprises and you want to practice at least a few times before you run that webinar. So here are some examples. Like I said, here's my social media +1 remarketing webinar. This is one that I've been running recently, and I'll just show you the sales page on that one. And I have a opt-in box here and a video here as well. You don't necessarily have to have a video. I've just got one here. I just find it easier to express myself in video. But if we go back to another example here, and this is how to legally reduce your tax. This is one without a video on it. This is Warren Black's one, and he's been going really, really well with this as well. So I'll just show you that one. Oopsie daisy. It's how to legally reduce your webinar. Here we go. So the last one was on the 21st of April, but here we go. We've got a bullet headline, what's going to be discussed in the webinar, and your opt-in, okay? And then a little bit more as well. So that's just a couple of examples of webinars. But again, really, and then in these webinars, you want to offer You want to offer either, your membership site or a high level coaching or and one-off information product. On these webinars, you can actually afford to, because you've got them on a webinar for about an hour or so, you can actually afford to promote something that's a little bit more expensive. So anything from, $100 up to $3,000. I've seen people sell $3,000 products off a 1 hour to 90-minute webinar time and time again. So that's what you want to be looking at is, okay, what can you offer on these? You don't necessarily want to be offering something under $100. I think you could probably do that on an ad, okay, just through an ad and leading them to a sales page. If you're holding a webinar, it's certainly something that you want to be offering that little bit higher value. Or it might be to get people to come to an event where you're going to do a higher value. So it might be, hey, listen, sign up to this and you get free tickets to an event or whatever it might be, okay? And last but not least, and I realize that time is running out, we've got merchandise, okay? And I've had some really big wins in this area. So let's just go through the process of the different sites. Go through the different sites that they're available. Like I said, the process for this, guys, is really what I've shown you throughout the Facebook Fortunes. It's finding that niche, building the fan base, building the list, building a whole heap of raving people, building the engagement, finding out what they want, and then giving it to them, okay? And that's really what I've done with my merchandise, okay? So I'll show you the different sites, and then I'll go through my little bit of a success story for those guys that don't know about this at the moment. So there are different sites where you can do merchandise. So there's one called teespring.com, and this is where I started out. So for those that don't know, which I'm sure you all do, I produced Marathon Girl t-shirts, and I kickstarted, not last year, but I think it was the year before, I ran a Teespring campaign. So if you go into teespring.com, you can actually run a campaign. It doesn't cost you any money at all to load you to get a t-shirt designed. So you either design the t-shirt yourself through Teespring, or you can get a graphic designer to design a t-shirt for you, or sometimes you can actually ask Teespring. You can send a support@teespring.com and ask them to design one. I tend to find that's more successful when I can prove to them, hey, listen, I've got this Facebook page of a couple of thousand followers. I really want to offer them a Teespring. This is the quote that I want on it. This is the niche. And they can come up with a design. They are really, really good at coming up with designs. So might be well worth asking them. Now, the thing with a Teespring campaign, generally, you need a few more fans initially to make this work. So I prefer, I used to be able to run it. My very first one, Marathon Girl, I ran a Teespring campaign with 1,000 fans, okay? I'm finding it's way more competitive out there now. And so I'm finding that you probably need, at least 5,000 fans on your site to run a successful campaign. In the States, they're saying that you need around about 10,000 fans to run a successful campaign. Listen, I mean, if you know your niche, you know what you want, we've already done the proof of concept. Perhaps you've done some quotes out there to find out exactly what it is they like, what quotes they like, depending on the time of the year as well. If you're advertising to the States, then you might want to look, okay, it's going into summer there now. So this might be a good time to produce a t-shirt. So you might want to go out and do some examples on your page, get something mocked up. Go, hey, listen, guys, we're going to be producing some t-shirts. Which one would you prefer? Okay. On Teespring, another thing that I learned was I would tend to run a campaign straight off with just actually keeping it lower. So initially I ran campaigns and I would, put in Teespring, for those that don't know, you have to put in a tipping value. So basically you say, I want to sell 50 before they'll print, or I'll sell 20 before they'll print, okay? You can go right down to 10. And it's a bit of a gamble, realistically, because with Teespring, you do not put any money down. You just basically sell the concept. People go in and buy, but they don't get charged until it hits a certain tipping value of what you've nominated. Now, my strategy now would be to nominate low initially. Means you won't make quite as much money off that first campaign, but really you start selling a lot quicker, okay? So you might only make a couple of $100, but as long as it all pays for itself, then that's fine. You've proved the concept, then you can carry on. So this is where I started. I did actually really, really well with Teespring through my marathon group. But again, it was, really building that audience, building that list, building those followers, building the engagement, knowing what they wanted, and putting it out there. Other sites include Cafe Press. Cafe Press, you can do all sorts of other merchandise as well. You can do cups, you can do pens, you can do key holders, you can do a whole heap of things in Cafe Press. There's Spreadshirt.com. In Spreadshirt.com, you can put together a whole shop of all different types of products with different quotes and what on them and whatever else. I've known a couple of people put together Spreadshirt shops. I haven't done it myself, but the people that have done them, I don't know whether they've had a whole heap of success, the ones that I know. I know obviously some people do, but again, I would dare say it's all about the same things as building that following, building that list, knowing what people want, and then putting stuff out there. I've had the most success, obviously, with Teespring because that's what I've done, and with my latest, which is Alibaba.com. So Alibaba.com is where you get all your Chinese manufacturers. So you can go into Alibaba, and you can go Alibaba Express if it's a smaller number of things, and you can go in there and type any particular topic or any particular merchandise, okay, and then you can get it made up, or you can get it screen printed and so on. So I just want to go and quickly show you guys just a little bit of proof of concept here of what's been happening lately with me. So if I go into my Facebook page, I'm just going to go into, so this is really exciting stuff, guys, because this is truly, you know, I've made a bit of money while I've slept with some of my ebooks and stuff like that and training programs, but it's really nice when you can actually see it like continuously coming through, like every single morning waking up and I've made 5 or 6 more sales and so on. And that's what's happening right now with my Marathon Girl. So I launched this. I pre-launched it, as some of you guys might know, last year, and did a GoFundMe campaign and sold a number of shirts there. Then I stopped that because I had to get them. It's taken me a while to actually get to find the right manufacturer, which I did through Alibaba, to get the sample sent to me, which I have now. It's all fantastic, and you'll see here they are now. They're actually, I'm actually being stalked by my own t-shirt. So here they are now, my Marathon Girl shop, and this is again a pre-launch. So I haven't actually got these yet, right? I've organized it all. I've got my sample. I'm just about to push the button to purchase them because I needed to know how many sizes I need to get in each, and these are selling daily, okay? So here my Marathon Girl shop for Australia and New Zealand buyers, and these are for the United States, UK buyers, okay? Now I just want to show you inside my account just to give you an idea of how it looks. Oopsie daisy, maybe I can't today. So in the first few days, I didn't actually do any advertising to it. I just put it out through my page because I've such following, and they were selling anyway. I've just started doing advertising now, and I'm getting a lot still organic sales, but I'm also converting it around about $3 a t-shirt, which I know in my profit margin, that's great. But here's my balance right now for my t-shirts. So that's in a week and a half. Pretty excited about that. So I've got more Australian than US, but this is what it looks like. So, you know, we've got some people ordering more than one t-shirts and so on, but this is kind of, you get an idea of how it looks day in and day out, okay? Okay. And some of them are Facebook ads here, and I'm running a few ads for all different things, but there we go. And that goes on for a few pages now, okay? So I just wanted to show you that because I know that, you know, whoopsie daisy, so I know that, you know, some of you guys are looking at doing merchandise and are interested in doing, whoopsie daisy, don't send my PowerPoint, come back. Okay, luckily we're almost about to finish here. Right, that was 4. Okay, right. There we go. We're back on 5 again. Strange things that happen. So I know that some of you guys are looking at doing campaigns, and some of you guys haven't even looked at them, but it might be well worth looking at doing sort of different campaigns. Or sorry, some of you guys are looking at merchandise, and I know some guys have, and some of you haven't even looked at merchandise, but to really look in your business and go, right, okay, is there an opportunity here? Because I must admit, this hasn't, obviously, you guys have followed the process. It hasn't happened overnight. I have been making money from my marathon site doing the training programs and the nutritional programs, which has been absolutely great. And this is just taking it to the next level to add some more, to offer more value to my people, and obviously make more money with the business as well. But the thing here is, start off with proofs of concept with any of this. With merchandise, don't go straight to what I'm doing is, don't go straight to importing straight away, but do pre-launches. Look at crowdfunding, which you can do through teespring.com. Find out whether these things are going to sell first before you start bringing them in or spending money on getting them in, and so on, okay? But that's certainly something that we can discuss in our calls, but pretty excited about how that's all running right now. But again, like I said, it hasn't been an overnight success with singlets, but it's just following the system, building that fan base, building that list, adding value, and really finding out what your clients want and then selling them what they want really seriously works, okay? So just wanted to share some of those money-making things with you. And like I said, I will have a look a bit more into podcasting and actually start my own podcasting, so that I can share with you guys how that will work and also add value in your business and how you can use it as another marketing channel as well, and what you're doing. So that's pretty much it for your money making things with how to make money using social media and different ideas. I'm just wondering if there's any questions that you guys have this afternoon before we finish up. Just type your questions in the question box if you have any questions. I know most of you guys I've been speaking to over the last week or into next week anyway, so that looks like pretty much it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this up now, and if you have already booked a call with me over the next week, congratulations. If you haven't yet booked a call with me, please get in contact with me. You can either email me. By the way, everyone, I'm not sure what email account you have for me, but the best email account for me now, if it's either the kerry.fitzgibbon@ourinternetsecrets.com, which I know many of you guys have, or kerry@kerryfitzgibbon.com. The reason why is my Kerry at Social Media Plus One is I'm trying to retire it because I've been hit by spam. Many of you guys know this, I've told you this before, but it's really, really upsetting because I am missing so many emails from real people who want to do business with me, or clients and whatever else, because I'm near on 100 to 200 to 300 spam emails a day, and it's just taking me an hour or so each day to try and sort through those, which is obviously not great use of my time. So I'm just going to type in here. Again, I think most of you guys probably have either this one, or you won't have that one, but that's one of them, or flick me a message through Basecamp or on Skype, okay? But if you are going to email me rather than through Basecamp, Basecamp's probably the best way, but if you are going to email me, those are the two emails to email me by. Okie dokie, guys. Thank you very much for attending the webinar this afternoon, and I look forward to chatting with you over the next couple of weeks.